Many of us, when we have grown up, Vanessa, we have used this particular word towards people. And because of the simple fact they might have made you upset some way, somehow. And you use the vernacular out of your mouth to, it's a disdain that you have towards an individual when you call them a jackass. So therefore, in our vernacular, we really feel that a jackass is a stupid individual. It's a person who is foolish. But as I begin to study this, Monique, and I begin to really delve into this particular word and get into it, I begin to understand that a jackass is not really a stupid or foolish individual. I wish I had a witness here. Because many of us, we use different words out of our mouth, but we really don't know what we're saying. So that's why you have to be careful what comes out of your mouth. Because a lot of times we label people by what we see them to be, and never see them for the potential that they have on the inside of them. So therefore we just limit them to being a certain thing. But you got to realize in your life that God uses whatever he wants to use for his glory. I know some of us in here will attest to that, because a lot of times the truth of the matter is there are some things or some people that we would not necessarily use because you don't fit the bill. Because of your past mistakes and failures, it doesn't look like God would use you for his glory. It seemed like you would be exempt from God using you, Renee, based upon your past experience. But I realize this about God, that God uses your past experiences to propel you into his purpose and his destiny, to let you know that the pain that you feel is, I know you feel it, it's for you, but truth of the matter, it's not for you. It's for people coming behind you, so you can be a testimony in the earth to let them know you've been through some things, you've hurt like other people, and you've been downtrodden, but isn't it good to know that God still use you as a testimony to let other people know that yes, you've been hurt, yes, I've been put down, yes, I went through this, yes, I went through that. But isn't it good to know when you turn around and look at your life that God can still use you? Many of us in here, we would look back over our lives and people. It's almost like when we were in the playground. And in the playground, when we were playing 5-on-5, there used to be a captain that used to shoot for the ball and shoot for the team. And the first two that popped would be the captains. And so therefore, the first two that pop, and after they do that, they begin to pick teams. Are you hearing what I'm saying to you? And sometimes we try to pick the best people for the position that we want. And there were some people who didn't look like me because I was short. They said, oh, I don't want to pick him. It don't look like he can do anything. Are you hearing what I'm saying to you? And they wanted to pick you, and they say, well, you know what? I got next. Tell somebody I got next. So everybody else would be picked, and you'd have to go to the side and look. But you got to realize, people of God, that you might have been looked over. You might have been downtrodden by other people, and they said, guess what? We can't be used by you. But tell somebody, I got next. Wait your turn. That's right. Everybody has a turn, Monique. Everybody, Kelly, has a turn. And many times we get irritated in the spirit because I see other people flourishing. I see other people going somewhere. And I'm wondering, God, how in the world can you use me for your glory? How in the world can you use me for your honor? And God says, you're the perfect person that I can use to bring me glory and honor to my name. Tell somebody, neighbor, God's going to use you in a mighty way. Tell somebody, say, neighbor, God's going to use you in a mighty way. And so as I begin to study about the donkey, I begin to understand that thousands of years, donkeys have been the helping hooves of mankind. They are the original beasts of burden. In many countries of the world and in many situations, they are used as the preferred mode of transportation. Tell somebody, say, neighbor, God's going to use you for some transportation. Oh, God, help me today. Donkeys are much more of an all-terrain animal than horses. Donkeys are in fact a highly intelligent animal despite of popular misconception. Are you hearing what I'm saying to you? Please don't go by what you're looking at. You may think I'm ignorant. You may think I'm dumb. But the truth of the matter is I'm a jackass for Jesus. You ain't helping me get here. You're looking at me like you got it all together and you all bougie and all stuck. That's fine. That's you. That's wonderful. That's your testimony. But I'm so glad that God will use a jackass like me and a jackass like you to let you know you're not dumb, you're not stupid, you're not foolish, but I need to let you know that you are highly intelligent because people have a misconception of who you really are. Y'all sit down, I'm going to break this down. I'm going up to the mountain. You hear what I'm saying to you? Now, I begin to understand, Bishop, donkeys are not easily startled, unlike horses, and have a keen sense of curiosity. Donkeys have a reputation for stubbornness, but this is not due to their highly developed sense of self-preservation. Are you hearing me? The reason why you're the way you are is because you have a sense of self-preservation. Are you hearing me? I said, Lord, break this down to me further. He said, well, it is difficult to force or frighten a donkey into doing something it sees as contrary to his own best interest or safety. That sounds like a lot of us in here. There are a lot of people that want you to do stuff that's against your knowledge of who you are and your safety. But the truth of the matter is when you look at me, you got to realize I'm highly intelligent. You may think I'm a jackass, but the truth of the matter is you can say whatever you want to say. I'm on my way somewhere and God is taking me, and you don't have to like it. You ain't got to come with me. You don't even applaud me. But guess what? I will clap for myself. Are you hearing what I'm saying to you? Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, God needs a jackass. Donkeys are more independent in their thinking than horses. Tell somebody I'm a donkey. I wish I had a real church with me. Let me say that again. Donkeys are more independent in their thinking than horses and will reason then make decisions based on their safety. But not only that, training a donkey relies upon showing him or her by words and actions that they can trust you to protect them from harm. And they know, listen, they learn what it is we want from them to do if we take them and show them how to do it. Tell somebody, say, neighbor, that sounds like me. I am a donkey for Jesus. Oh yeah, y'all ain't saying nothing. But I was so understanding, and many times in the book of Corinthians it says that God uses the simple things to confound the wise. Oh, that's what God does. God uses people and things because the Bible in itself, when you begin to understand it, is made up of types and shadows, metaphors and similes. The word of God within itself in the 66 books is literal and figurative. Oh, can I preach this? Can I teach it before I preach it? Here it is. The Bible is literal. What do you mean by literal? It means what it says it means. It means the 10 Commandments are literal. It means thou shalt not bear false witness. Are you hearing what I'm saying to you? Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not lie. But not only that, but the Bible is figurative. If I say figurative, what does that mean, Elder Girtman? It means that it doesn't mean exactly what it says, but it points to something else. Well, give me an example, Elder Girtman. Well, we just had Holy Communion. And we begin to take of the Holy Communion. It said, eat of my body, drink of We're not cannibals, so therefore we're not actually eating the Lord's body, but it is symbolic in nature on what to do as we represent Him in the earth, to keep His Holy Communion in remembrance of Him. Are you hearing what I'm saying to you? So now what God does, Evangelist Girtman, He uses the simple things. He uses the things that you don't understand that will bring Him glory. And so here it is in the book of St. Matthew. God tells His disciples, and because many times when we hear this, we hear about this around Easter time. Are you hearing me? But here it is, God began to give me understanding and said, Gene, break it down that Jesus needs a jackass. And so here it is, the Bible declares that Jesus here sends His disciples to another town. He says, listen, I need you to get me. I want you to go get me an ass and a colt. Are you hearing what I'm saying to you? I said, God, out of everything that you would use, why would you use a donkey? He said, you just looked it up. Now do you understand why I didn't want a horse? Now do you understand why I wanted a donkey? And so many of you, please don't get upset because people don't understand you. They don't like you. It's because they're a horse and you're a donkey. I can't get no help in here. They're all pretty. They know how to gallop. They look good, but they're not an all-terrain vehicle. See, some of us have been through hell and high water. We've been through things that other people couldn't take. Oh, yeah, people left the church and lost their mind. But guess what? God made me a donkey because I'm highly intelligent. But then God puts on me an understanding of where I'm going because I don't know if I should be doing this, but I'm going to look to see if I should. And if it's good to God, then it's good for me. Tell your neighbor, say, neighbor, you're looking at a jackass. Yeah. Oh, Bishop. So here it is. That God says, I want you to go over and I want you to get me an ass and a colt. Can I park right here, Monique? Can I park it right here, Saints? Just for 1 minute. It's good to know that God can use you. It's good to know that God can take you and use you for His glory. Are you hearing me? Because now God looks and goes and looks for an ass. And the Bible says He was tied up. Are you hearing me? First, I want to pop right here to bring you the first revelation. God can take anything and use Him. Wish I had a real church in here. God can take anything and anyone and use Him. What do you mean, Elder Girtman? Let me break it down for you in Genealogy 101. God can take a lion ass. Y'all be helping me now. God can take a drunk ass. Okay, yo, Dean, that's all right. Yo, God can take a cussing ass. Y'all ain't helping me here. God can take a drug dealing ass. Oh, yeah, God can take a cussing ass. And try to tell you, listen, I can use you for my glory and for my honor. Look at somebody say, neighbor, one of those was me. I came to the wrong church, Monique. Came to this deep church because a lot of people think, yo, no, think, no, not me. No. Some of us in here, we was lying asses. Yo, ain't helping me. We were drunk. Oh, yeah, yes, we was. We were lying asses. We were cussing asses. Oh, yes, we were lesbian. Oh, y'all ain't helping me in here. We were drinking asses. But isn't it good to know that God can take your ass and use it for His glory? I wish I had help in here. Wish I had real help in here. You're looking at me real strange. Like I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah, the reason why you can't